You were expecting your second child, is that right?
Yeah, inbound.
Dude, you are a dad. I love it.
Yeah, making humans.
Yeah, you're making humans. Yeah, I really lost sight of everything that was right in front of me, which is the family I had. It's kind of a natural thing to pull back when somebody's, clinging too tight. US's role in global affairs and its approach to interior behind the million-dollar smiles and red carpet moments where power and secrets dance in the shadows, a story emerges that would shatter the industry's carefully maintained illusions. Behind the headlines of Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore's relationship lies a darker truth, one that connects a farm boy's meteoric rise, a screen legend's intuition, and a music mogul's expanding empire. As new allegations surface in 2023, their intertwined narratives expose a system designed to protect its own, revealing how Hollywood's machinery of silence finally began to crack. What emerges isn't just another celebrity scandal, but a window into how power, protection, and privilege operate in an industry built on carefully managed appearances. Welcome to a story 2 decades in the making, one that would ultimately force Hollywood to confront its own demons. The unlikely trinity that reshaped Hollywood, from the cornfields of Iowa to Hollywood's spotlight, Ashton Kutcher's trajectory reads like a modern fairy tale, though one with complex undertones. The self-proclaimed farm boy leveraged his Midwestern charm into a career-defining role on that 70s show. But it was his innate business acumen that set him apart from other pretty faces in Hollywood. "I had a really good 5 years where I was pretty sure that I was awesome," Kutcher later reflected, a hint of self-awareness coloring his words. This confidence would prove both blessing and curse as he navigated Hollywood's treacherous waters. Enter Demi Moore, whose Hollywood story was already the stuff of legend. After redefining female star power in the 90s with groundbreaking salary negotiations and iconic roles, Moore wasn't seeking a comeback, she was orchestrating a reinvention. Her connection with Kutcher initially raised eyebrows due to their age gap, but those who knew Moore recognized a familiar pattern, her ability to spot both potential and danger in Hollywood's glittering landscape. Diddy Combs strode into this narrative already wearing multiple crowns: music mogul, fashion innovator, and marketing genius. His expansion into Hollywood's social sphere wasn't just about adding another jewel to his empire, it was about redefining power itself. "I am in your face, but he is understated, cool, suave," Combs said about Kutcher in what would later seem like a calculated assessment of their contrasting public personas. Industry veterans watched this trio's convergence with knowing eyes. It was like watching a perfect storm form, one longtime Hollywood producer noted. You had this young star with unlimited potential, an established power player with deep industry knowledge, and a mogul known for pushing boundaries, all orbiting each other in an industry built on image and influence. These early observers recognized something that would take years to fully surface: the profound impact this unlikely alliance would have on Hollywood's power structure. At the dawn of the new millennium, as traditional entertainment boundaries began to blur, the paths of our 3 protagonists would intersect in ways that would reshape Hollywood's landscape. Their convergence wasn't merely coincidental, it was emblematic of an industry in flux. In 2003, MTV stood at the zenith of its cultural influence, transforming from a music video platform into a kingmaker of modern entertainment. The network's headquarters buzzed with an electric energy that attracted both established stars and hungry newcomers. It was here that Punk'd, Kutcher's hidden camera show, would become more than just another reality TV success. It morphed into a power nexus where music, Hollywood, and digital media converged. When Diddy became one of Kutcher's marks on the show, their interaction sparked something beyond mere television entertainment. Hollywood's old guard watched with a mixture of fascination and trepidation as a new generation of influencers emerged. The traditional pathways to power. The traditional system of prestigious acting schools, studio system connections, and carefully managed ascents was being challenged by a more dynamic, entrepreneurial approach. Kutcher's rise exemplified this shift as an actor who understood social media's potential before most Hollywood executives had even heard of Twitter. Moore, straddling both worlds, recognized the changing tides and positioned herself accordingly. Reality TV wasn't just changing viewing habits, it was restructuring Hollywood's power dynamics. Punk'd created a unique environment where celebrities became both predator and prey, forming unlikely bonds through shared vulnerability. The show's format allowed Kutcher to interact with A-listers in unscripted moments, creating authentic connections that transcended typical Hollywood relationships. These raw, unfiltered interactions fostered a new kind of trust among entertainment's elite. As social circles began to intertwine, the boundaries between different entertainment spheres dissolved. Diddy's infamous white parties became a melting pot where hip-hop royalty mingled with Hollywood stars, tech entrepreneurs, and fashion icons. These gatherings weren't just parties, they were informal summits where deals were struck, alliances formed, and the entertainment industry's future was shaped in poolside conversations and private cabana meetings. Their business empires grew in tandem, each venture reflecting their distinct approaches to power. Kutcher's tech investments, Moore's production company, and Diddy's lifestyle brands created a complex web of mutual interests. This wasn't just about diversification, it was about creating new centers of power outside traditional Hollywood structures. Their combined influence began attracting attention from both Wall Street and Silicon Valley, signaling a shift in entertainment's economic landscape. The media initially painted their alliance as a curiosity, the farm boy turned actor, the established star, and the music mogul forming an unlikely triumvirate. Entertainment reporters focused on surface-level details, the parties, the age gaps, the fashion choices. Few recognized that they were witnessing the formation of a new power structure that would eventually challenge Hollywood's fundamental assumptions about influence, success, and control. As these initial intersections deepened into more complex relationships, the true nature of their connection and its implications for Hollywood's future would begin to emerge in ways that even the most astute observers couldn't have predicted. Moore's memoir, Inside Out, shattered the carefully constructed veneer of her relationship with Kutcher, revealing raw truths that Hollywood had long whispered about but never confirmed. She described her initial connection with Kutcher, painting a picture of a man who seemed undaunted by her complex past and high-profile divorce from Bruce Willis. The memoir's most poignant revelation centered on their shared trauma, a miscarriage at 6 months that sent Moore spiraling back into addiction after 20 years of sobriety. Through carefully chosen words, she exposed the fragility beneath their picture-perfect facade. She recounted confronting Kutcher's infidelity and his immediate admission. Kutcher's response to these revelations proved equally telling, though markedly more restrained. In a series of carefully crafted tweets, he initially wrote, "I was about to push the button on a really snarky tweet. Then I saw my son, daughter, and wife, and I deleted it." This measured reaction belied the complexity of his position, caught between defending his current happiness and respecting the truth of his past. In later interviews, particularly with Esquire, Kutcher would adopt a stance of qualified accountability: "You did wrong, and you go forward." His words, while direct, seemed to dance around the deeper implications of Moore's account. Diddy's published statements throughout this period revealed a man consciously crafting his narrative within the unfolding drama. His 2010 Time magazine tribute to Kutcher now reads like a carefully constructed shield: "Like me, he's a mogul, a new media mogul, but we are yin and yang." These words, positioned between Moore's struggles and Kutcher's indiscretions, painted their friendship as a business alliance rather than the complex social web it would later be revealed to be. Each public statement seemed designed to distance himself from the personal upheavals while maintaining the appearance of connection. As the public narrative fractured into private realities, those closest to the situation began revealing a more nuanced picture of these intertwined relationships, each perspective adding depth to an increasingly complex story. The family circle offered crucial insight through their unique vantage point. Bruce Willis's diplomatic silence contrasted sharply with Moore's daughter's growing concerns. They loved their mother and, initially, Kutcher, but as their mother's struggles with addiction and relationship trauma intensified, their embrace of their stepfather figure transformed into protective vigilance. Their public support of Moore's memoir spoke to a family united by shared experience rather than mere appearances. Hollywood insiders witnessed the relationship's evolution with knowing unease, like watching a slow-motion car crash. One prominent agent noted anonymously that industry veterans observed how Moore's protective instincts, particularly regarding Kutcher's friendship with Diddy, created fractures. These observers noted patterns echoing broader industry dangers Moore had long recognized and fought to shield her children from. Following Moore's memoir, a complex web of NDAs, managed appearances, and enabling networks that maintained the couple's public image even as their private life unraveled was revealed. The San Diego incident, exposing Kutcher's infidelity, was merely one thread in a tapestry of concealed truths. These investigations illuminated not just a failing marriage, but Hollywood's systematic approach to burying darker realities. As personal struggles collided with industry machinery, a larger narrative emerged, forcing Hollywood to confront its practices of power, protection, and privilege. Didis white parties became proving grounds where Hollywood's power dynamics played out. Behind the enforced dress code and NDAs, an intricate dance of influence and access occurred. A former party planner revealed it wasn't just about who was there, but who was invited upstairs. Kutcher's 2009 elevation to co-host marked a shift in Hollywood's hierarchy. These parties, outwardly celebratory, functioned as informal summits where alliances were forged and secrets became currency. The business partnerships revealed a carefully orchestrated expansion of influence. What began with Kutcher and Didis shared MTV ventures morphed into sophisticated investment strategies, with WeWork becoming their highest-profile collaboration. Internal documents later showed how their business relationships provided cover for complex social arrangements. A former WeWork executive noted anonymously that financial entanglements went deeper than realized, with business meetings doubling as private gatherings. Social circle testimonies painted a picture of interconnected worlds. Former assistants, drivers, and staff described witnessing the transformation of relationships. One former household staff member shared that it was initially glamour and excitement, but there was underlying tension, especially when Demi asked questions. These intimate accounts revealed how Moore's protective instincts clashed with established social circle behavior, creating friction. Legal documentation, including sealed contracts and confidentiality agreements, offered insights into the machinery of protection. The papers revealed an intricate web of legal safeguards, with some NDAs extending decades. Industry lawyers reviewing these documents noted how standard entertainment contracts were modified to include broad protection clauses. One entertainment lawyer who reviewed several agreements called the level of legal insulation extraordinary, even by Hollywood standards. Professional associates provided crucial context. Talent agents, managers, and publicity teams described watching the construction of public narratives while managing complex private realities. A former publicity strategist admitted they were constantly putting out small fires. Their accounts revealed a behind-the-scenes apparatus dedicated to maintaining the balance between public image and private truth, even as that balance became unsustainable. As these private moments unraveled into public scrutiny, the true cost of Hollywood's protection racket would emerge, shaking foundations built on decades of silence. The carefully constructed walls protecting these struggles began to crumble, revealing the human cost behind Hollywood's facades. Moore's descent unfolded with devastating precision. The miscarriage at 42 marked not just loss, but the beginning of a spiral challenging her sobriety. She later revealed in journal entries that she lost sight of everything. Her return to alcohol and medications wasn't merely relapse, it represented the collapse of defenses against Hollywood's darker influences. Those close to Moore described watching helplessly as she attempted to maintain composure while grappling with loss and betrayal. Kutcher's career trajectory. During this period, the man was caught between reinvention and regression. His tech investments flourished, even as his personal life imploded. This suggested a pattern of throwing himself into work to avoid confronting deeper issues. His former business partner noted that success became its own kind of prison. The stark contrast between his ascending public profile and deteriorating private life created tension, manifesting in increasingly erratic behavior at industry events and strained relationships with longtime collaborators. The breaking points accumulated like hairline fractures in fine crystal. The San Diego incident, infidelity on their wedding anniversary, served as the final blow to an already fragile foundation. Moore's reported response, "Are you kidding me?" echoed through Hollywood's inner circles, not just as a wife's pain, but as a veteran insider watching her worst fears materialize. The subsequent week saw a cascade of revelations that neither party's PR teams could contain. Managing public perception became a full-time operation as both camps scrambled to control the narrative. Moore's team focused on protecting her recovery journey, while Kutcher's representatives worked to preserve his evolving image as a tech visionary. Behind carefully worded press releases and strategic social media posts lay a complex dance of damage control. One publicity veteran observed it was like trying to put out a forest fire with a garden hose, noting how each attempted fix seemed to reveal new complications. The private battles took place on multiple fronts: emotional, professional, and psychological. Moore's children became unwitting participants in a public drama they tried to avoid, while Kutcher struggled to maintain his business relationships amid growing scrutiny. Previous, sealed court documents revealed therapy sessions, intervention attempts, and a support network strained to its breaking point. These intimate details painted a picture of two people trying to salvage not just their relationship, but their individual identities. This period saw their respective support systems tested in unprecedented ways. Longtime friends found themselves forced to choose sides, while professional relationships became increasingly complicated by personal loyalties. Bruce Willis emerged as an unexpected stabilizing force, demonstrating how their blended families' bonds transcended Hollywood's typical divorce narratives. One family friend reflected that in crisis, you learn who your real allies are, highlighting how this period reshaped not just their immediate circle, but their understanding of trust itself. As personal wounds bled into professional consequences, the industry itself began questioning the sustainability of its long-standing practices of protection and silence. The ripple effects of their unraveling extended far beyond personal tragedy, forcing Hollywood to confront its own machinery of protection and power. Hollywood's protection mechanisms faced unprecedented scrutiny as this saga unfolded. The intricate network of NDAs, private security details, and media manipulation strategies that had long shielded the industry's elites suddenly appeared more sinister than protective. Industry veterans watched nervously as their time-tested methods of damage control proved increasingly ineffective against evolving media landscapes and changing public sensibilities. Media coverage transformed from traditional entertainment reporting into serious investigative journalism. Publications that once focused on fashion choices and romantic speculation began diving deeper, examining patterns of behavior, power dynamics, and systemic issues. This shift reflected growing public demand for transparency, challenging decades-old practices of selective disclosure and managed narratives. Legal experts emerged as crucial voices in decoding the implications of various NDAs and confidentiality agreements. Their analysis revealed how Hollywood's legal framework had evolved to prioritize institutional protection over individual welfare. The interpretation of these documents opened new conversations about accountability and responsibility in entertainment industry relationships. Cultural critics identified this moment as a turning point in celebrity narrative control. The public's reaction demonstrated an increasing sophistication in understanding the machinery behind celebrity image management, marking a shift from passive consumption to active questioning of established power structures and their consequences. The cultural impact reverberated beyond Hollywood, sparking conversations about power, privilege, and protection in other industries. Social media amplified these discussions, with the public questioning the machinery that had long protected entertainment's elite. The response suggested a fundamental shift in how society views celebrity culture and its supporting institutions. The legacy of these revelations continued through legal challenges and industry reforms. What began as personal drama evolved into a catalyst for systemic change. Entertainment lawyers reported a surge in contract revisions, particularly regarding NDAs and social gathering protocols. The industry isn't just changing its practices, observed one attorney, it's reconsidering its fundamental assumptions. These developments forced a broader examination of Hollywood's future. Industry veterans spoke of a great reckoning as new guidelines emerged for everything from social events to business partnerships. The question wasn't just about preventing future abuses, but about reimagining an industry built on managed appearances and strategic silence. The entertainment landscape that emerged bore little resemblance to the one Kutcher, Moore, and Diddy had navigated 2 decades earlier. As one analyst noted, the machinery of protection that once seemed impenetrable has been exposed as surprisingly fragile. This new reality suggested Hollywood's next chapter would require not just structural changes, but a fundamental shift in how power is understood and exercised. As this story unfolds, it serves as both warning and catalyst, a reminder that even the most carefully constructed facades eventually crack under the weight of truth. As the entertainment industry grapples with evolving power dynamics, the story of Kutcher, Moore, and Diddy serves as both cautionary tale and catalyst for change. Their intertwined narratives reveal how personal choices ripple through Hollywood's facade, eventually forcing systemic change. What untold stories still lurk behind entertainment's gilded curtain? Share your thoughts and experiences about Hollywood's transformation in the comments below. Together, we're uncovering the human cost of fame's